The Chesapeake Bay shimmered under the May sun. Fishermen cast lines hoping for a catch, but a different kind of catch awaited. 3 suitcases bobbed near the shore, their contents gruesome and shocking. Inside, dismembered body parts. A man's torso, legs, head. The victim, Bill McGuire, a 39-year-old computer specialist. His life brutally ended, his death, a macabre puzzle begging to be solved. Bill McGuire was an ordinary man living an ordinary life. He worked as a computer specialist at a college. He was a loving husband and a devoted father. His world revolved around his family, his work, and his quiet suburban existence. He was known for his kind heart, his easygoing nature, and his dedication to those he loved. He was, by all accounts, a good man. Melanie McGuire, Bill's wife, became the focal point of the investigation. She was a beautiful woman with a captivating smile. She worked as a nurse at a fertility clinic. On the surface, she seemed like the grieving widow, devastated by the loss of her husband. But as detectives delved deeper, cracks began to appear in her facade. Inconsistencies in her story, suspicious behavior, a dark secret lurking beneath the surface. Melanie's affair was no secret. Her lover, Bradley Miller, was a successful doctor, charismatic and charming. He represented everything that was missing in Melanie's marriage. Excitement, passion, a sense of adventure. Their relationship quickly escalated, fueled by stolen moments and secret rendezvous. They dreamed of a future together, a life free from the constraints of their current realities. The prosecution's theory was chilling. They believed that Melanie had meticulously planned Bill's murder. She had researched ways to make his death look like an accident. She had purchased a gun, ammunition, and chloroform online. She had studied the effects of various drugs, searching for a way to subdue her husband without raising suspicion. Her computer became a digital treasure trove of incriminating evidence. According to the prosecution, Melanie drugged Bill, shot him in the head while he slept, and then dismembered his body in their bathroom. She packed his remains into 3 suitcases and disposed of them in the Chesapeake Bay. It was a cold, calculated plan, executed with chilling precision. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence against Melanie. They had the suitcases, the dismembered body, the chloroform, the online purchases. They had witnesses who placed Melanie at the crime scene. They had experts who testified to the cause of death and the method of dismemberment. They built a strong case, brick by evidential brick, weaving a narrative of guilt around Melanie McGuire. The courtroom was tense. The air crackled with anticipation. Melanie sat at the defense table, her face pale, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear and defiance. She had maintained her innocence throughout the investigation and the trial. She claimed that Bill had been involved in gambling and had likely been murdered by someone he owed money to. But her story was met with skepticism by the prosecution and the jury. The prosecution presented their case with ruthless efficiency. To understand Melanie's alleged actions, one must delve into the labyrinthine corridors of her mind. Was she driven by desperation, trapped in a loveless marriage, seeking escape in the arms of another man? Or was she a cold, calculating manipulator, orchestrating a sinister plot to rid herself of her husband and secure a future with her lover? The truth, like a slippery eel, evaded capture. The prosecution argued that Melanie's mind was a breeding ground for resentment, fueled by financial pressures and marital discord. They believed that her affair with Bradley Miller had ignited a desire for a new life, a life free from the shackles of her marriage. They portrayed her as a woman consumed by ambition, willing to take extreme measures to achieve her goals. After weeks of testimony, the jury reached a verdict. The courtroom fell silent. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Melanie McGuire, her face pale, her body trembling, stood to hear her fate. The jury foreman, his voice trembling slightly, read the verdict. Guilty, A collective gasp filled the courtroom. Melanie's eyes widened in disbelief. Her world crumbled around her. In the wake of the verdict, Bill McGuire's family struggled to cope with their loss. Their grief was compounded by the horrific nature of his death and the public spectacle of the trial. They sought solace in their memories of Bill, the loving father, the devoted husband, the kind soul who had been taken from them too soon. Melanie McGuire was sentenced to life in prison. She maintained her innocence, claiming that she had been wrongly convicted. She filed numerous appeals, but all were denied. She spent her days behind bars, haunted by the ghosts of her past, her future a bleak landscape of concrete walls and iron bars. The Bill McGuire murder case transcended the boundaries of a simple crime drama. It delved into the murky depths of human morality, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about love, betrayal, and the choices we make. Melanie McGuire, the central figure in this tragedy, emerged as a symbol of moral ambiguity. Was she a victim of circumstance, driven to desperate measures by a failing marriage and the allure of a forbidden romance? Or was she a cunning manipulator, a black widow who spun a web of deceit and violence to achieve her selfish desires? The evidence, like a shattered mirror, reflected a fragmented truth, leaving us to grapple with the uncomfortable possibility that both narratives could coexist within the same human heart. The case challenged our preconceived notions of good and evil, forcing us to acknowledge the gray areas that exist within the human psyche. It underscored the complexities of human relationships, the power of desire, and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. It left us questioning our own moral compass, wondering what choices we might make when faced with similar dilemmas. The Bill McGuire murder case serves as a chilling reminder that the line between victim and perpetrator can be blurry, that the human heart can harbor both love and hate, that the pursuit of happiness can sometimes lead down a treacherous path. It is a story that continues to haunt us, forcing us to confront the moral ambiguities that lie at the heart of the human experience.